And we're live.
So the thing I linked, I don't know much about the or wait, these aren't Kardashians. The Kardashians and the Jenners are the same people, right?
Yeah, they are. So this is
they're
Jenner and
Kardashian and Jenner. So they started selling shirts for like $140 apparently, and all that it is, if you scroll down, you'll see it. It's just a picture of Tupac and Biggie, and like superimposed as though someone like
it's their Instagram
Photoshop project is just it's an Instagram pic that's made partly translucent and then superimposed over both of them, like just a big picture of their head. And they're
not just Tupac and Biggie, but also Black Sabbath, Metallica, Pink Floyd, The Doors, Kiss, Led Zeppelin, just overlaid with their Instagram pics.
Yep,
and they're selling them for $125.
They didn't say, "Hey, Black Sabbath, hey, estate of Tupac and Biggie, do you mind if we use this? We'll throw you a kickback." Like, no, it was just. Yeah, I mean, I guess these are like public pictures now. Just throw our Instagram photos over it and sell it for $140. Like, how could you be so arrogant that you think you can get away with that?
You see Sharon Osbourne's tweet, because obviously Ozzy Osbourne is Black Sabbath. She goes, "Girls, you haven't earned the right to put your face with musical icons. Stick to what you know. Lip gloss."
Yeah, well, she's right. Like,
man, the Kardashians are just the most awful. I don't know why everyone keeps looking at them. Stop.
I love them.
Stop looking.
I
why?
Well, I don't even know them. I just love that they get people to look at them. I love that everybody hates them. I guess I can't even name. I know there's Kim Kardashian, there's a Khloe, right? And there's I'd probably recognize other names. I know Caitlyn Jenner as a Kardashian somehow, but like it's not like
Kylie.
I follow. Okay, I didn't even know Kylie was a thing, but I do know that they have this multi-million-dollar empire. They're all multi-millionaires out of just being interesting. And
well, it started with Kim. Like, Kim was friends with Paris Hilton. Like that. That's where it started. Like that's what made her famous. She was Paris Hilton's friend, and then the sex tape with her getting fucked by Ray J came out, and then they started selling that. She made a lot of money. It really snowballed from that. It was like it's all from
now than she ever was. She's bigger than Paris Hilton, right?
Oh yeah,
so you have to give her some credit, right? Like she made this happen, and here like she's 10 years into it, I think, maybe, and people are still watching this. People are still captivated by the life trajectory of the Kardashians. They're the best vloggers the planet's ever seen. And there's a whole sea of people out there rooting against them, saying, "You don't have actual talent. You're nothing. You can't sing, you can't dance, you can't act." And
not even attractive.
I mean, like at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, Woody. Like,
that lady, obviously, if you saw that woman in real life, you wouldn't find her attractive. She's like 5'2" or 5'1" or something, and she's just misshapen. Her thighs are much too thin for that fake Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what she looks like.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
But do you really know what she looks like?
Yeah, like if you look at like unphotoshopped beach, like try to find unphotoshopped beach photo Kim Kardashian 2016, 2017, something like that, and you can tell like her thighs are way too small for that big fake ass she has. It's not even her real ass.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm not a hater. I'm not one of those people that he's talking about that's like, I don't understand why they have so much money. It's not that. It's just like, I don't care I'm not interested by them or their success. Like it's their success. It says more about us as people than it says about them. And it's not a good thing that it says, I think. It's their success says something bad about the rest of us.
She's
in
a
my
vlogger,
opinion.
Right? Except they're a TV show.
She's the worst. They're the worst role models imaginable, and yet they've filled that role big time. And I think it says something bad about us that these are the people that are role models and are icons and trend makers.
Maybe I'd
they're
agree
not
don't want little
if I
girls
knew
looking
more
up to
about the
them.
content, right? Like all I know is they like
she got. I mean, she's famous because she for her porn video. I mean,
no,
she's just not.
She has a Keeping Up with the
Yes, she
Kardashians
is.
show that people watch.
But that's why
she got that show though. Like this all started with a porn
like
video.
her family.
I promise you, it did.
Like her
she was
family is
nobody.
very well connected. She's so
example,
well connected with her family that like if the only reason they picked that family is, because like, oh, you got some pretty attractive daughters and you're a very powerful attorney, you know, the father is, and fucking Jenner, Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner, whatever, you're in there, like, oh, it's a famous family, let's do that. Like, they could have replaced all those Kardashian girls, I assume, with attractive women from just around the country, and nobody would have noticed.
No,
like
that start they got was the equivalent of a YouTube shout out. Right, it was a launching pad that she took and brought to the
massive.
next direction.
Dude, she made more. There's so many millions made just from the porn video. It was huge. It owned the internet.
Yeah,
I've seen it many times.
PKA used to give shout outs, and you know, some people would get 12,000 subs the next day, and some people would get 12 because a lot of it had to do with what they found when they got there. And you know, with Kim Kardashian, like. That blowjob thing was, or I guess it was full on sex. Whatever she did with Ray J, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's lots of sex. It's a whole weekend filmed. It's just lots and lots of sex. But
her sisters are famous.
This all got kickstarted from that though.
That's how they got into
the public.
I almost
but the kickstarting isn't just a shout out when there's an entire industry of magazines and gossip websites, and they want these people to be popular. So when that comes out, just like they did with Paris Hilton, they all talk about it nonstop. And the way the news media does with big news stories, these, you know, People magazine or whatever the hell, they do that with all of these. Yeah, they perpetuate it. So it's like, oh, if we talk about these people, we're getting good ratings because people want to know about the sex tape girl with the sisters. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to like, and then it's almost like a repeating cycle of like, well, people are reading this because it's all we're doing, and all we're doing because people are reading it. Like, you know, they could have done that with like the Smiths in Oregon or something. You know, if they had a bunch of hot daughters.
It wouldn't work if it was the Smiths. There's something the Kardashians are doing, I presume, that is making them different
I agree
than
with
everybody else.
I think it's a bad thing, though. I think it's, and I think it says, like I said, I think it says something bad about us that they are so famous, that there are so, because I look at it and all I see is just like, these are low class, like money grubbing, just bad human beings.
Shameless.
Like these are shameless people who would sell anything that I'm not even sure if Caitlyn became Caitlyn for any other reason than the subs and views, you know? Yeah.
I don't know. I love that they've worked with what they had and they turned it into this multi-million-dollar business. They're entrepreneurs, right? When they're on camera, they're not just being themselves. They're putting on a show. I'm sure of it. They have to be. If they were being themselves, they'd be laying down watching Netflix being boring like everyone in the world. But
the mom is a real snake, right? Like she was cheating on her husband left and right back in the day, Robert Kardashian. You know, he was the OJ's friend. He was in the trial and everything. Like it's barely even a rumor anymore at this point that Khloe is OJ Simpson's daughter. Like there's been talk of her going and getting a DNA test. And they said that OJ will do it, but he wants her to come to prison and see him first. And
does she because look half black?
I mean, they're Armenian, so they're all pretty dark, right? I feel like Khloe is the more heavy set of them. Yeah, and the one that looks more like a running back.
So you're saying she's genetically fat?
No, she got fat because she was eating too many calories. She's lost that weight now though, because you know, the Kardashians.
Did she get super hot, Khloe?
I don't think so. I don't think any of them are all that attractive, to be 100% honest. I feel like there's a lot of Photoshop and there's a lot of Instagram filters and a lot of like airbrushing and stuff. Like those just aren't, the Armenian women aren't known as natural beauties. It's not no rough looking people. Okay. Like normally and naturally, it's just a fabrication in my opinion. And I don't buy into it.
Kyle, we've got a huge segment of listeners from Armenia, so we're gonna get, a bit of hate here.
Not the Armenians.
I still though, I just admire their ability to like stay relevant, stay on top, turn this little springboard into something that's launched them into outer space. Like they did a thing, and I bet it's been really hard work along the way. And I know you can throw shots at their $140 t-shirts or whatever. It sounds crazy, but they're running.
Kim made like $100 million off that cell phone app.
But I'm saying that it's indicative of their business skill, that for them to do something like this t-shirt thing, being so quote deep in the game of this business, like it just kind of speaks to like either they were trying to trump up some kind of controversy, which maybe, I doubt it, because this seems like doing this with this kind of with Tupac and Biggie and musical artists seems like that's the kind of move that you're going to piss off your own fans, because I'm sure all your current fans,
chess, right?
Like, not everything is 3D chess. Like, I honestly think it was just, we can do this, right? Yeah, we can sell that. Like, who's going to stop us? We're the Kardashians. I make $30,000 while I'm taking a shit selling nonsense makeup to little girls who idolize me, and that's a real thing. Like, I've talked to friends with younger daughters who are like, oh yeah, they just love the Kylie Kendall, some K name, Jenner lip gloss or something, and you have to be on their website like ready to hit buy as soon as they do it, because they do the Nintendo thing where they're like, oh, you want the PlayStation Switch? We made 17 of them. Like, and it's like, oh, that's not enough. More than 17 people want it in the due time. It's like, yeah, and one guy who weighs 600 pounds in Kentucky bought all of them. Like,
I don't know if it's still true, but Syndicate used to have that kind of, like, he would tweet that he was selling some limited amount, I don't know what it was, 100, 1,000 t-shirts, and then they would all sell out really quickly. And I'm on the outside like, man, that guy just made like $10,000 in 30 seconds. Like, that's outrageous. I'm not sure if he still does that, but he had a clothing company that was just in huge demand. And I don't know, it happens on YouTube too.